Hello. In this video on hypothesis testing, I will just go over the basic setup along with a couple of examples of how to set up a hypothesis test. So a hypothesis test specifically utilizes these two hypotheses, the null hypothesis and the alternative hypothesis. An aspect to know about the null hypothesis is that the null hypothesis is basically the status quo of whatever the scenario is. Likewise, the alternative hypothesis, which can be denoted with an H sub 1 or an H sub A in some textbooks, depending on what the book uses, that's the alternative hypothesis. That's the one that we are testing. So we are testing that one. And the main types of them that we typically see within statistics. First, this two-tailed test, where we have the null hypothesis, where whatever the parameter is equal to a number, and the alternative hypothesis is that the parameter is not equal to the number. So if we want a very basic drawing such idea of this, based upon whatever that number is, where we want it where it's not equal to that number, that general idea is looking at the two tails here, for example, in this normal plot, where this will be the number and this is the negative of that number. The right-tailed test, the null hypothesis, again, the parameter is equal to whatever the number is. Alternative hypothesis is that the parameter is greater than the number. So that basic drawing would look like this, where we just want the right tail of this. Again, with this being the number. Likewise, for the left-tailed test, null hypothesis, the parameter is equal to the number again, and the alternative hypothesis is that the parameter is less than the number. So this drawing would be this tail over here, with this being the number. And both the right and the left-tailed tests, which I'll just write down here, are called also one-tailed tests. So just to give, the parameters that are used with these are either the mu for the mean, P for the proportion, or sigma. That's a very bad sigma. Sigma for the standard deviation. Now, for a few examples on writing those null and alternative hypotheses are these. So we have, for students who first enrolled in 2-year public institutions in the fall of 2007, the proportion who earned a bachelor's degree within 6 years was 0.399. The president of Joliet Junior College believes that the proportion of students who enroll in her institution have a higher completion rate. So do notice those keywords. So previously, within that fall of 2007, the proportion was 0.399. That's going to be a null hypothesis. So H0 is going to be where we have the mean, the proportion is equal to 0.399. While the alternative hypothesis, again using the proportion and 0.399, she wants to find out if they have a higher one, so this would be greater. for my second one, historically the time to order and deliver a pizza at Jimbo's Pizza was 48 minutes. Jim, the owner, implements a new system for ordering and delivering pizzas that he believes will reduce the time required to get a pizza to his customers. Now, although they don't explicitly state it like they did in the first example, this refers to the mean time. So the null hypothesis is that mu would be equal to 48 minutes. And then the alternative hypothesis alternative hypothesis, if I could draw here. Alternative hypothesis is that the mean, he wants to reduce it, is less than 48, that the mean is less than 48. Then finally, the standard deviation in the pressure required to open a certain valve is known to be 0.7 psi. Due to changes in the manufacturing process, the quality control manager feels that the pressure variability has been reduced. So this one uses the standard deviation. So the null hypothesis is that the standard deviation is 0.7. And the alternative is that the variability has been reduced. So that sigma is less than 0.7.